Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, here to work for Beaks in Charge of the Justice. We're now in the finale for this case. Hopefully speaking, we got all our evidence all here intact. I'm pretty sure we got everything we need to get down on Macintosh. Like, Jesus, because of this whole contract thing. Jesus Christ, this is, my God, this is insane. Oh my God, he was really hoping for the stunt to go badly somehow. And that didn't happen, and she managed to get it. Dara managed to get the stunt all right. Oh boy, time to pretend to be her and commit a crime. And we got our trusty badge and green mystical rock by our side, so I'm pretty sure we'll all be good. Oh, bring him to the stand, that goddamn apple lover. I'm pretty sure he's gonna choke on it when he hears what we got on these apples. Of course, by concession, Mr. Hawk, were you able to get a hold of Mr. Macintosh? Yes, Your Honor, yes, sir. We're looking at Mr. Macintosh in his home. He agreed to come with us without any complaint. Well, great. Very well. Is he ready to give us testimony? Wait, has he been in his home this whole time, even from yesterday? He really is that cocky. He is, Your Honor. Mr. Macintosh, please approach the stand. I'm still surprised you're younger than Paul Pitstop. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Name's Mill Macintosh. I'm the owner of the Super D Sun Show. I just realized I need to give him an established voice, so yeah. Mr. Macintosh, you're aware of what's been happening the past few days, yes? Oh, more or less. I know that Dara was arrested upon trial for robbery. And I hired you, Mr. Wright, to defend her. Oh yes, and we're doing a great job. So I wonder, why am I here? What do I have to do with this trial? You've seen some things. Well, I'll be asking the question, Mr. Macintosh. If you could, please give us your testimony on what you were doing during that robbery. I suppose I could. You suppose? More like you shall. Now it's time to find out what he really has been up to. If you really are behind everything, Macintosh, you're not getting away with it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. No relation to crime. But contract is crime. That day, we were all busy getting ready for the big show. Dara finished her first stunt. She went back on stage to get ready for the last one. I went in there to deliver something to her, and that's when I found out her keys were missing. Oh, apple time. I went back to my room and continued on to my work till the police came. I believe that's all I have to say. I have nothing further to add. Noise. I'm just reminded of, like, didn't, like, Paul, like, try to photocopy that contract and, like, Macintosh found out about it and then started reprimanding him for it? Oh boy. It does sound like you were willing to do the crime in any way. Of course I'm not. Okay, what was that twitch? But I have anything to do with this, it's that I'm the owner of the SDSS. The SDSS? That's a mouthful. Even though it's just 4 letters. We still need to perform the cross-examination, Mr. Macintosh. So please have some patience. Well, before you get on with it, I have a question for you, Mr. Wright. Shoot. But not with a real gun, okay? I said before, I hired you to defend Dara. Yes, but we barely talk to you anymore, so... Our job is to protect Dara? So why on earth am I here testifying? I had nothing to do with what's happened. Well, guess what? You seen some things. I mean, you live, like, let's see, around 50 years of life. I think you could give us some pearls of wisdom, right? Right. Perhaps, but we still need to get any information we can in this case. You may be able to help shed some light and help us solve this crime. I don't have an idea what you're going on about, but fine. I'll try and help Darren anyway. Okay, that's new. I'm sure you will. Then the next testimony, you're just gonna go, oh yeah, I saw her, I followed her. No relation to crime. That day, we were all busy getting ready for the big show. Well, might as well figure out all things you know so we can work to the piece later, so yeah. What was supposed to be so big about this particular event? Well, Dara was supposed to come out and reveal herself. Oh yeah, it was in the show script. We had planned this for a long while and to have it turn out this way. Yeah, well... Like, I'm pretty sure it was going to end out this way because, like, didn't you... If what you said was true, you walked into a room and like, found the keys, then... That's when you decided to do the robbery. Wow. It's a shame, really. It's quite unfortunate. I did want to see who DD was, but not this way. Well, I mean, you kind of did. Perhaps next time we get a mysterious defendant whose identity needs to be revealed in court, we can put sparklers around the defendant's chair and try and jet up a bit. Yeah, in the future. If only court had more pizzazz sprinkled around it. Yeah, and maybe onto this side of this court. When Dara finished her first stunt, she went backstage to get ready for the last one. Yep. Did you see her walk backstage to exit the arena? Oh, why don't you tell us that, Mr. Wright? We weren't there in the backstage area, though. You were watching the show that day with your girlfriend over there? Listen. Stop it. We're not gonna get this whole thing with, Miss Blue Teacher Lady, okay? We're not doing it with you, okay? I believe I asked you, Mr. Macintosh. The defense is a right, Mr. Macintosh. Please abstain from... wait. Mr. Wright! What? What is it, Your Honor? You... Please don't go with my... You will just do some stunt show? Yeah? What else is there to do in this town? Yes? Why didn't you invite me? Because you make fun of me all the time. I'm a huge fan. Well, how are you supposed to know that? Sorry, Your Honor. We're only able to get 3 deluxe seat tickets. 3 deluxe seats? Well, I see someone a super spender. Oh god, this again. If I had $3,000 for each ticket, I would have invited you. That's how much they cost? Your Honor, What? 3,000 for each ticket, Maya? Now, Nick, you listen here. I need to put my head down for a minute. Oh, God. Your Honor, if we could please get back on track with our cross-examination, can we please see him a psychiatrist right now? Very well. I'll let it go for now. Witness, please continue your testimony. With pleasure. By the way, Mr. Wright, no refunds. Can I sock you in the face right now? I went in there to deliver something to her, and that's when I found out her keys are missing. Okay, how many people did Dara meet in the dressing room? I don't think she mentioned that. We don't think we ever asked. Probably because it didn't seem like it was very important. You went to her room? When was this? I had to say about half an hour before that robbery took place. Of course, I got information from the detective, in case you're wondering. What was she doing when you went in there? She was looking for keys, if I'm not mistaken. I'll let Pit Sub know so she can find a spare, but it seems we only had one made. Most of the keys that were stolen by Manly to protect Dara. Anyway, I believed her stuff and head back to my room. I went to my room and continued on my work until the police came. This person of yours walked out of your room, so and there's barely anything in there. Does that mean the spare costume's in the safe? Gumshoe, Joel, you better come through. So after you left Dara's dressing room, you went back into your room? Yes, I did. And you were working the whole time while you were in there? Yes, I had some paperwork to do, and I had some spare time, so I got on that. Wait, do you still do paperwork in the middle of a show, though? Why didn't you handle it beforehand? Well, I'm not a businessman, so... Anything happen while you were in there? What are you getting at? Well, I was wondering if you could tell us if anyone stopped in, what you're working on. What were you working on? Were you making some contracts? No, was anyone in there? Did anyone stop by at all while you're in your office? No, no one did. I specifically told the staff not to disturb me while I was in my office. So, no one came in at all while you were in there? No, why do you ask? I asked because there was someone in that room you should have seen come in. What? We heard testimony earlier today that someone came out of your office, and that someone was wearing the DD attire. I knew saw this masked rider come out of my office. That would be Mr. Pitstop. He was backstage talking with help and saw someone come out of your room. Maybe you heard him wrong. I beg to differ while I take a big sip of this juice box. And when the fact that it just poured all over my lap, god damn it. How do you like them apples? God, I'm gonna get most of that apple jug no matter what. I think not. We went over his testimony with him, and that was the end result. Mr. Macintosh, do you recall anyone coming into your room that day? No, I can't. Not that I'm aware. You still like juggling that? Can we see you juggle an apple, please? Please, I want to see it. Explain yourself, Mr. Macintosh. What do you mean by that? Well, I can't say I was in my room the whole time now. I mean, you could say that, but that'd be lying, and lying is bad. Robberies are bad, and murder is depends on the circumstances. I may have gone out to check on things or two to go bathroom once or twice. Someone may have gone in my room while I was gone for that short period. He told us that you were in your office the whole time. I think I'm allowed to be human and misplace a few things here and there. This happened a few days ago, so I can't remember everything perfectly. Mr. Wright? Well, that's almost a great excuse. Excuse. Your Honor? It would seem that the witness was out of his room the whole time DD was in there. So he says. This is the make or break it hour. It's time to put everything on the table. Is there a table here next to this bench? Your Honor, the defense believes Mr. Macintosh was in his room and left at a certain time. A certain time? But how could he have left without being seen? He was very sneaky. He wore a costume. He strolled out. Well, I mean, people like, cosplaying and is wearing giant suits and all that. Why not a costume? He could have left without being seen if you're wearing a disguise. Disguise? Yes. The disguise being the DD outfit. What? Order? Mr. Wright, are you trying to say that the person who wore the DD outfit is this man right here? I mean, if he dyes his hair, then it would be a perfect match, right? That's exactly what I'm saying, Your Honor. The person responsible for robbery and murder is none other than this man. Mills Macintosh. You better run that through your crank Mills machine. That's a bold accusation you're making, Mr. Wright. What makes you think this man was the person under the DD mask? As of now, we know that DD came out of Mr. Macintosh's room. The only person who could have been in there at the time is Macintosh himself. We don't have any concrete proof that he wore it. Can I stop you for a second? Okay. So you're really doing this? You're really gonna pin this on me? Well, I mean, we did say we're gonna get, defend Dare at all costs, even if, someone entirely else was the one defending, hired us to do so. And let me ask you something. Do you really think I can fit in that suit? Yes. You're slender. I mean, you eat healthy enough. You eat a lot of apples, so, I mean, pretty sure he has a build for it. The suit? Is there a reason why you couldn't have Mr. Macintosh? I would never do it to the prosecutor if I didn't have one. You see, Your Honor, these DD suits are specially made. When people didn't know who Darrow really was, they gave the illusion that Darrow was a man. They did that the suit had padding put underneath it. I see. So that's why she looked the way she did. Now ask yourself, if I put that suit on, how would I look? Extra manly with ripping muscles to boot. You are rather average in stature, a little bigger than the defendant. If you look at these photos, the rubber doesn't look too large at all. Oh, dang it. In fact, the culprit looks normal in that suit. There fits perfectly in the suit. No one else can wear it. You say that, but... So, Mr. Wright, how can I fit the DD attire? You're a seamstress. You managed to get some stuff out of it. Mr. Wright, perhaps you should rethink your accusation of Mr. Macintosh. Is Doc also right to wear the DD outfit? In some numerical system, he can. Actually, I think it was. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? I think it'd be better to show rather than tell, Your Honor. Yes, oh my gosh, what is this thingy right here? It's like some weird version of padding from a suit. I'd like to show this, Your Honor. Is that another suit? Slim to that effect. It's padding that was taken off of a suit. You can see some rip marks on the sides. Rips? I believe this padding was ripped off of a suit. That suit being a DD outfit. You shush your honkers there. Very convenient. And just where did you find this? I didn't find it. What do you mean you didn't find it? What are you trying to pull here? Okay, I like that pose. Also, please, eat your apples before, you bruise them, okay? Don't shake them angrily at us. If you're allowed me to explain, this wasn't found by the defense, but by yesterday's witness. Yeah, boy, a lot was useful. Well, you gotta make it up to me by getting rid of this. What is it? A dirty rag? Oh, that's a way to put it. Must be. It's all dirty and smells of sweat. Somebody dropped it in my trash can during the show the other day. It was thrown away during the show? Yes. Yes, Miss Hart collected this after it was thrown away. The suit padding must have come from the spare suit used during the robbery. That padding could have come up from any suit that used that day. How about you go check the costumes then? I suppose you came across another spare suit with its inside padding missing? You have been investigating the SDSS thoroughly, yes? Well, no we didn't, but... So you couldn't find it. Then I believe that it's very likely this padding was ripped off the spare DD suit. You like that mouth? Gonna run that into the ground. So this padding must have come from the spare suit. Okay, back to your thinking, noms. Pretty sneaky, right? Trying to leave the core on like this. Oh, wow. Okay, you really are getting more smug. We're one step closer to seeing you juggling that. Looks like he's showing his true colors. So what do you think that Steve's padding was thrown away that day? Maybe it belonged to the suit from the robbery, maybe it didn't. Dare to now have just one spare suit that had to be thrown away, you know? Well, couldn't that be the case, prosecutor? It might be. Speaking with the suit cleaner yesterday at the stadium, they did say that she went through quite a number of suits. I mean, if like a number of them are like aren't even at the stadium, they're thrown away. Could be anywhere. I believe they could test that, yes. But how does this explain the person in the DD suit coming out of your room? She must have gone in there for a reason, but I'm not sure why. She was trying to look for you, know? She really wanted to talk to you. And where were you when she was in there? In the bathroom, probably. But you said you were working in your office the whole time. It's not gonna work anymore. Mr. Wright, as hard as I try, recalling every detail is a bit of a bother. I have perfect memory, okay? You understand that? So don't give me that. I know you're a completely different person than I am, but everyone should have the same memory as I do. Memories and experiences. You were calling me sneaky a little while ago. Sneaky's a snail snake. Snaily snake. I suppose that makes some sense. The witness could have simply been out of his room when the defendant visited. As always, the judge is buying into these lies. Well, I mean, that's his deal, yo. So now what, Nick? I don't know. This guy is slipperier than an eel, or slimier than a snail. How are we supposed to link him to the crime scene now? Well, you better think of something or he will slip away. Trust me, I'm thinking. Link? To the past? Well, Mr. Wright, if you have nothing more to add, the witness will leave. Be quiet, you. One more, Your Honor. I can't bow out now. The show's not over. I had to link this guy to the robbery, and I think I know how. I just need to find something that connects him to the crime scene. Something that connects him to the crime scene. The padding is something else. Mr. Macintosh, if you have nothing to do with the crime, then how do you explain this? We have nothing to do with the crime. Link. The gunplay? Because the model gun was in there. I remember this now. Well, Mr. Macintosh, how do you explain this? What about it? This gun display was found in your room, buried under your apple tree. I mean, did you want to grow a gun tree? Because, like, you know, valiant effort, but that's not how it works. You need to put the ammo, not the whole gun in. What do you think, ammo grows on trees or anything like that? Not like that fast. A gun display? What are you doing with weapons in your office, witness? Please, I know the gun laws here. Those aren't real guns. My gosh, wait. Oh, it's one of those things where you need a permit, okay. Carry permit? They're not? I take it they're the trick gun replicas from the DD, correct? Yeah, they are. So what about these replicas, Mr. Wright? This display is missing a gun. Dare was given a pair too, if you recall. Now, what was found in the crime scene the day of the robbery again? A fake pistol. This goes together with the one in the display? Correct. Now, Mr. Macintosh, what were these guns doing in your office? Well, looks like we have him where we want him. You can't think of anything to say about the guns. Okay, nom your way to victory, apparently. Or you could chew on an apple. Well, I mean, if he eats 10 apples, he's not legally obliged to answer your questions then, even if he's being on suspicion. Your Honor? Yes? I'm afraid I have a confession to make. Okay, like, what is that? You want to tattoo your entire skin be red because you like apples so much? Just a while ago, my testimony I said that I've left my office when DD came in. I didn't. You didn't? What is he up to? You see, I was sitting at my desk when an apple fell from my tree. Okay, insightful. I stood up from my chair to pick it up, and in an instant I heard my door open. Door opened? Yes, I was under the desk and didn't see who came in. Then I went to peek my head up and saw someone in a DD outfit. They threw the gun plaque on the floor and left soon after. Oh. I picked up and noticed one of the guns were missing. I didn't know what was going on, so I took a look outside and noticed Dee Dee. She was walking to the back exit. Wait a minute. Mr. Pistol said he only saw Dee Dee come out of your room. If you really left your own office, then how come he didn't see you? Sneaky ninja snake. Snail snake. Well, I didn't see him when I walked out, so he must have just left. Hold on, before the defense blows its gastic, why did you leave your room? Well, I mean, the gun is not real, so... Let's just say I did a little investigating of my own. Well, I mean, you're not a detective, you're just an owner, so stop it. What is that supposed to mean? It means he was playing amateur hour at the, you know, the jazz club. I went on back and noticed Dara walking up without a photographer behind her. I thought it was strange, so I decided to follow Dara. What the? What? Okay. Order? What in the? I don't buy this for a second. What's the meaning of this? You were questioned the day of the murder and never mentioned this to the police. Why is it now you're coming forward with this information? Because it's now convenient, you know, Mr. Coppers? I apologize, Mr. Hawk. I mean, your eyesight's not what it's used to, so maybe I do. But you see, up until now, I was trying to protect Dara. Wow, so helpful. What? Dara's the star of the Super Decent show after all. How could I stand a test fight at the time? As her manager and boss, I felt I need to protect her no matter what. I even went so far to hire a lawyer to help her. But now, he seems to be going after me to win his case. Okay, or he's gonna play the sympathy card now. Well, I'm not about to risk my neck for her now. Okay. So how about it? Would you like me to tell you what I saw when I tailed Dara to the bank? This is crazy. No way, Hawken. Fine, we'll hear you out. Okay. Yep, you're a sucker. So was every prosecutor. That's what makes them, great. Very well, this court will hear out the witness as he testifies on what he saw. We'll be ready to hear the truth, right? You're just gonna lie anyway, so I'll be prepared to expose you. At least you try. Yeah, I went there and just casually mentioned it. Yeah, I just walked out of the stadium and just walked like, 5 miles, like a 10-minute stretch, and just, saw like a robbery and a murder happen. Don't worry about it. It's true, I followed Darren in costume all the way to the bank. This any bank. I noticed that she took that trick gun out when entering the building. She then held the gun up at the teller, probably demanding some cash. The detective blundered in and tried to stop the robbery. What happened inside? Dara ran out into that photographer. And then she hopped in the car, hit that woman, and drove back to the stadium. Okay, that's another cut and dry testimony, so we gotta pressy your buttons then. My goodness, so you really did witness the robbery. He's explained things that haven't been mentioned in the media, so I guess we should take him at his word for now. True that. So that means he was there. Unbelievable. He's managed to convince the court he witnessed the robbery. This job just gets harder and harder. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I'll be very cross with him and examine him. Okay. Time to press all your buttons. You say you went there. Well, I say no. You were somewhere else. Inside the bank, not outside it. Ugh. And how come you didn't mention this until now? Shush you. He's already explained why he didn't. These trials would go on a lot faster if you didn't keep asking these questions over and over. Well, how does it get anywhere? And plus, it's a lawyer trying to get all the details, right? And the very second he goes against wrong, then he lying, boy. Maybe they would if the police did their job when interrogating these guys. Don't push it, Nick. See, exactly. Settle down, I swear I'll explain everything. Can you please put down your apples first off? No eating allowed in the courtroom. I know it's like one of your real stress balls, but I'm pretty sure you need softer material than that. I noticed that she took the trick gun out when entering the building. You noticed her entering a building with a gun and didn't say anything. What could I do? I was hiding around the corner, so no one could see me. Around the corner. I didn't think she was going to go through robbing the bank, so I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. But, well, look what happened. She didn't have the gun up the teller, probably demanding some cash. Probably. How were you able to see this? I was out to the bank and looking inside periodically. I knew someone was taking pictures, so I made sure to get in her way. Really? Why didn't you mention you yesterday when she gave her testimony? Well, she's aggressively intense taking pictures the way she did. I thought it best not to get caught in any pictures she was taking. Okay. Yeah, sounds convenient for you, doesn't it? It's like only a few pictures were taken at a time. Yeah, and the rest of the film was just destroyed, or like, you know... Yeah, wait, yeah, she said she only took like a few pictures and then, like, you know, she kept clicking away in an empty roll. God. Anyway, she pointed the gun to the teller, then she just took a stack of bills from him and $500 in that case. Then the detective blundered in and tried to stop the robbery. Yeah, from the ATM machine. Blundered. He wanted to try and stop the robbery. He was searching his coat for a gun, I assume, but must have forgotten it. Jared picked up on it and pointed the gun to the teller. You better be off with a trained poodle than having that detective around. Okay, it's gone personal. Okay, you're gonna get arrested soon, son. It's just a gumshoe. May not be the brightest bulb in the warehouse. He's a loyal detective that tries his best to help out an investigation. That he does. If you could, Mr. Macintosh, try not to insult any of my men. Sorry, I just can't stand the useless type. Maybe you should check your mirror first, because you're just doing nothing. Nick, he's being nasty to Gumshoe. Say something! What do you want me to say? I can't raise an objection because he's being a jerk. Fine then. I'll throw your badge at his head and maybe he'll stop. It's not a goddamn frisbee. Give it back! Would you stop that? Give me that back. I have to find a safety lock on my badge to keep mine from chucking it at people. What happened inside, Derek ran out into that photographer. What's the best way to basically contradict what he's saying to prove he wasn't there? So then the suspect left, she ran into the photographer. She must not have been looking at where she was going. Then, bam! They crashed into one another. Oh, match made in heaven. Was something that she may not have been paying attention? I think something like that happened. She was looking back at the bank as she was running. What? That tested yesterday's testimony? She did run... Tested yesterday's testimony. She did run into the witness. Yeah, this doesn't look good. He was calling everything that was mentioned yesterday. Yeah, to him, the T, apparently. Then she hopped in the car, hit that woman, and drove back to the stadium. Okay. That's not a very descriptive statement. What do you want me to say? That's what happened, didn't it? I'm not gonna go into the details of something so trivial. I didn't realize people's lives and deaths were so trivial too, huh? I can understand that, Mr. Macintosh. Perhaps the defense can ask a question that pertains to the moments that we have yet to delve into. Maybe the judge is right. I should ask him something about that moment. What are we supposed to ask him, Nick? Important stuff. You know what happened afterwards, so... think of something. Yeah, so far it just seems like we're just going around in circles. Now, let's see. What happened to the gun? What happened to you? Was anyone else there? The gun was left behind, so it's either was anyone else there. I doubt it, but so what happened to you? I'm actually curious. After the robbery, what happened to you? You weren't like stadium after the crime, so you came back, correct? Yes. Otherwise I wouldn't have hired you to be Dara's lawyer. You certainly ran back. True. So how did you get back there? What do you... Who cares how I left? It matters? Unless you're an Olympic athlete, you know, eating healthy with those apples, I'm pretty sure they're not good for running, so... What were you doing? Miss Hart never mentioned you leaving the crime scene yesterday. That means you left somehow without being noticed. Yeah, like, and didn't you also say, like, literally by your own volition that, when she was running away to the bank, she kept looking over her shoulder, too? God... Mr. Macintosh, I believe it is imperative you tell us how you left the scene. Okay. Yes, I remember. I saw everything from the back alley, so I left that way. The back alleyway? Oh, just seeing Dare hit a woman with a car. I didn't think it would be good to follow her out the same way she was going. So you took the back alley instead and just went all through the backyards and alleyways and backyards of houses. How dignified. Well, it's interesting. Mr. Macintosh, I'll like you to add this to your testimony. Very well, I suppose I could do that. Darren left and headed back to the stadium through the back alley by the bank. Don't we have a bank map? Where was it? Is any bank map? Yeah. There's a wall there. I assume so. So I'll press this and see if that's right. I don't want to look at profiles, okay, mister? So how long did it take for you to get back to the stadium? Well, it's alright, I ran. Well, it took about 4 minutes to get back there. 4 minutes? It is only a 5-minute walk over there. However, something doesn't seem right. Do you think it would have taken less than 4 minutes to get back to the stadium? You did say you went through the back alleyway in order to get back. It probably takes longer to get back to the stadium if you go in that direction. I guess we can't catch him here if that's what happened. Harper's managing to catch this guy off guard. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Macintosh is saying that he was at the crime scene and saw Daryl rob the bank. Do you really think he was there watching the robbery, Nick? Not a chance. He was there, but not how he says he was. The proof he was the one who really robbed the bank instead. I know you're trying, Nick, but I don't think it'll be easy. I know, won't Maya, but you know we can't give up. Right. Let's see if we can smoke this guy's lies out. Like a motorcycle bike? Okay, so the other 2 questions he had, was anyone else there? I doubt there will be anyone else, because I'm pretty sure the police would ask around. At this point, nothing else came up, and Paul Pissed Up was there at the stadium the whole time, along with Joel from the sounds of it, and Joel's good in my book. So I don't think they would know anything, and I'm pretty sure the police started to look around, so there's no one else there, and I'm almost up behind, so I think the only time we have is back alleyway, so let's take this back alley pathway evidence out and just run with it. Where is the bank plant? Here you go. Get a load of these apples. I'm just imagining white apples bleeding just red apple skin. I don't know why. Don't ask me why my mind goes there. You didn't run away through the alley, Mr. Macintosh. No, what is it? You said you left the crime scene through the back alleyway. Well, that's not true. You actually climbed on top of the bank and started jumping over the rooftops like Superman. However, according to this map, there's no way you could have left through there. And why is that? Because there's a wall that blocks the path to the alley. What, did you squeeze that apple? Either you're goddamn strong, or that was a thought that's apple, not a man. Okay, stress ball apple, gotcha. Let me see that. Why, there is a wall there. Yes. Hold on, are you gonna clean it up? Can we get a trash can? That's like our friends I mentioned. Yes, there was a wall there, but that doesn't mean I couldn't climb over it. What do you mean? Well, it wasn't that tall. It was easy to jump over it. See? No problem at all. Why would you want to go that way? I'm afraid it's not likely. Take a look at this picture the witness accidentally took yesterday. Look at the suspect. The back alley of this wall is as high as the building. Oh, that's the alleyway. Nice. To get over that wall, you would have needed a pole vault. Yeah. Okay, how many apples do you have? Why there is a wall as high as the building there? Yes, we just said in our word. Thank you for taking our words, plagiarist. I already said that exactly. Shush. Since you seem to have all the answers, how about some answering a question of mine? Yeah, apparently, because I had to answer all the questions to the police doing their job. Does Mr. Macintosh explain this crime scene without being seen? And how did he get out? I wonder how. Well, Mr. Wright, can you answer the prosecutor's question? Well, let's see. If he couldn't walk back because Alana was there, and, you know, he couldn't go to the back alleyway because it would take too long, and he's not, you know, he's not a big jumper, then I'm guessing he took a car. He may think he has me up against a wall, but I'm pretty sure I know how he escaped. Nice. All I had to do was present the evidence that shows how Macintosh got out of there. Yes. I hope you do you like SUVs? There must be a reason why you like this one. No, it's steal it. Oh, I'm waiting for an answer. You don't have to wait, because I had your answer right here. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going with him. There we go, okay. That was weird. The SUV! That's how we escaped? Well, how else was the robber supposed to leave the crime scene? He had taken the SUV and made his escape back to Stunt Stadium. Order? So the defense believes the witness left in his SUV? Yeah, say that more letters, like SDSS. Does that mean... Yes, Your Honor. The defense continues to believe that Mr. Macintosh carried out the robbery himself. Unless the prosecution can provide us with another way the witness got back to the stadium. Gerchecki. What does that mean? Well, okay. Stop eating apples. Where do you keep getting these apples? Thank you for asking my question. Don't even ask. He literally went to the store on the way here before being subpoenaed and just bought more apples. And that little money bag of his. Oh, sorry, I just do love my Granny Smiths. Are you sure it's not red delicious? That was a red apple. Are Granny Smiths green? I made a mistake. What's that? I never left the back alley. That was a mistake. What, you decided to go into the bank? God. I ran back chasing into the SUV. What? You chased the SUV. Gumshoe was right behind there. He counted. Lotta never saw you, and Gumshoe came out running back out. What? What? Yeah, I don't buy it either, Phoenix. Oh boy. Okay, there's a sip. Okay, this time don't squeeze on yourself. Mr. Macintosh, what is the meaning of this? Why you lied again in your testimony? Because it's normal. Couldn't help it. Mr. Wright was over there staring at me all serious like. Isn't that everyone's job? But what about Mr. Hawk over there? He's looking serious. Just pan over. He has a bunch of googly eyeglasses on. He look better that way. So I tried to throw him off by telling him I went through the back alley. So you think it's fun to waste time, sir? Anyway, running back to the stadium while chasing Dara down. So sorry. What are you trying to pull here? You're supposed to give an honest testimony, and if you lie again, then no. If you keep this up, you lose your credibility as an eyewitness. Like I said, I couldn't help it. You couldn't help it, you say? Mr. Wright should lay off, otherwise I don't know what I'll say. Is he really trying to blame me for his lying? No one's gonna believe that. Well, I suppose Mr. Wright can be a bit forceful when speaking to witnesses. Okay, this is the reason why we don't invite you to anything, Mr. Judge. You like to complain that we don't invite you to anything. Maybe we should hear what else to say. Somebody get me out of this courtroom and into a normal one. No, sorry. The whole world is wacky. You can't deal with it. The only time you get something normal is the hospital. Oh, wait, never mind. That has bad stuff, weird stuff in it too. God. I'll warn you though, Mr. Macintosh. I will not tolerate any more lying. Gotcha. And I'll tell you about what happened when I saw DD headed back at the stadium. No, you better. Meanwhile, back at the stadium, transition over back. I ran back to the stadium, chasing DD in the SUV. She stopped in front of the stadium, the SUV right in the steps. But wait, the SUV was right on the steps of the... That's hilarious. Just trying to ramp into the front entrance. As she got out, she took her bag and threw it away in the trash can in front of the stadium. Then she went inside and I assume went into her room. There was no money bag in that trash can though. Then she went inside and I assumed back into her room. As for me, I headed back into my office. Also, was the trash can not there the morning of the incident either? Shut up. Just shut up. What did she stow away, I wonder? Didn't he just say a bag of anything? You want to know? I guess I could tell you. It was the money, obviously. How can you just throw away perfectly good money? Wait. How do you know it was the money? Did you look into the trash can it stole from you? You mean the stolen money from the bank? How do you know this? Because I looked in the trash bin and saw the money in there and took it. It's not stealing. What? What did you... Oh, calm down. Remember when I said I was trying to protect Dara? Well, this was one of those times when I was. Okay, buddy, screw you. I get the money in my office and took it home with me. Okay. Give it back if you want, I don't need it. This guy is sinking to new lows. Wait, if the money bag was on his person and, like, he's telling the truth that he has it on him right now when he can literally give me it back to the police right now, what's inside the safe in his room? Okay. He's doing whatever it takes to get Dara a guilty verdict. Well, I mean, there's another thing. If the dollar bills are still in the bag and you're not saying, like, you know, it's empty or something like that, I mean, it's easy to figure out if, like, you know, fun fact, there's, like, serial numbers on those dollar bills for the help trace back where the money was stolen from. in the bank like keeps records of that. So just trace that back, and you got your person. There you go. The actions the witness has taken will be reviewed in court at a later date. Yeah, okay. Do you understand, Mr. Macintosh? Of course I do. Mr. Wright, the cross-examination now. Okay. Yeah, because the judge gets angry, he takes it out on everyone. Why is he so angry though? What would I do wrong? Meanwhile, back at the stadium. Okay, but first thing is, trash can. That's my immediate first thought. It's a little bit just mosey on over. She stepped in front of the stadium, and to be right on the steps. So she got out, she took her bag, and threw it away in a trash can in front of the stadium. You sure about that? Are you sure it was not a green recycling can? Like the color that red delicious in your hand? So that's where the money was this whole time. Well, when I went in to take a look, the money was just sitting in that green trash can. Green, you say? So it's not a trash can, it's a recycling bin! I took the money to try and cover for her. Well, now with the way things are. Don't you mean you have a problem with me instead of Dara, actually, then? Screw you, buddy. I bet you had that money with you the whole time. Why can't we bust him here for what he did? Because of his testimony. They wouldn't get as much out of him if it concerns Dara being the real culprit. Yeah. And you had to make his testimony unimportant, Nick. Don't worry, I think you know how to catch him. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. Sneak around was left in the backstage area day of the crime. Yeah, it was in the backstage, not the front stage area, you dunderheads. Mr. Macintosh, when you say Dee Dee threw the money in a trash can, do you mean this one? Yep, that green trash can that was by the front of the stadium. It was even by the north gate today when I walked by. What about it? Are you gonna try and convince us it's not a trash can? I mean, yes, it's a recycling bin, but that's beside the point. Oh no, I wouldn't do that. Not yet, at least. See, you even had the idea it was a recycling bin this whole time as I do. Nice. I'd like to share with you something. This particular trash can wasn't left up front. It was in the backstage area of the stadium. What? That's ridiculous. You can't claim that. Shush you. I agree. You can't make that claim without proof that it was back there. Can you let me speak, you goddamn idiots? Actually, there's something else I'd like to explain about this can. It doesn't belong to the stadium. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but I still don't see what's so special about that. Well, I mean, someone has bought the special trash can and just left it out in the trash, just so it can be taken away to the dumpster. Isn't that sad? What's special about it is that it belongs to yesterday's witness, a lot of heart. This can is custom made for taking photographs in secret. You gotta be kidding. Well, guess what? Isn't life and fate so mysterious in its own ways? She even has holes in the bottom to slip her legs through to creep behind people. I remember doing some stakeouts in the trash can once. What kind of life as a teenager did you have? Never thought about putting leg holes in the bottom. I'll have to remember that. Are we gonna be here next time with a new judge? Don't ask, Phoenix. Don't ask, Phoenix. Don't ask, Phoenix. Anyway, she told us that when she went to chase a Dee Dee, she left it in the back area. On the day of the crime, there wasn't a trash can to be seen in the front entrance. So, Mr. Macintosh, just where did Dee Dee put that bag of money you happen to run off home with? She... Okay. Someone just make sure he stays at the witness stand and not, over here so he doesn't, you know, squash my head like a watermelon. Mr. Macintosh, just what are you playing out of my courtroom? Finally. Looks like he's out of gas. What? Well, not in this gas tank if it is, like apples, like, you know, the latest technology in gasoline technology. Just boil it down to just pure apple brew alcohol. You know, apple cider. That runs good in the fruit tree. I don't know. Or not. I'm just wondering if there's a fruit car now. What, it was just a Krabby Patty burger machine. So, you're at it again. You're still trying to pin this whole crime on me, huh? Yeah? Alright, smart guy, let's get something straight. Like a pole? You can throw all the accusations you want at me, but I ain't catching. I mean, we don't have a fish hook either. What are you trying to say, witness? First, let's ask the prosecutor over there a question. You done your homework on Dara yet? I mean, yes? I swear, I was this close to making a goddamn joke on that homework. We're Valerie. It's okay, I can make another one here. I should learn myself. So, how's her driving? What? Is this some sort of joke? What are you playing at? Now, let him answer. What? Fine, she's an excellent motorcyclist. However, when it comes to driving a car, she has trouble. Okay. What? Is this going somewhere? Sure is. Now let's all ask a simple question. Why did that broad who was walking the sidewalk get flattened? How dare you? I don't care for the way you said that, Mr. Macintosh. Yeah. The prosecution has said that she was actually run over? Oh, yes. That's what I thought. What's this guy up to? I already know he's gonna stay, but Jesus. Now, see, you keep saying I robbed that bank and killed that lady, yeah? Well, yes. Okay, now, if I were the one who robbed the bank, I would have just driven out there without a mess. I mean, besides, you know, apple guts on the ground, I guess. Meaning? And then I'm the type to go off and accidentally kill anyone. I can drive a car perfectly fine. Well, Derek can even parallel park. Well, I mean, I could steal that. Well, I mean, like, now you're putting it together, like, I already know I'm gonna be terrible on a motorcycle, because the last time I tried doing a motorcycle thing as a kid, the second I hit the, just like, you know, rev the gas, I immediately went to onto the ground, like, sideways, and it just started going in circles, and I scraped my legs and, arms all over, so, yeah, I don't want to do that again. Actually run over? Me? Not a chance. Is he... you... Wait, did you actually, like, just... It's either you had difficulty with a car and actually ran, you know, Patty Destrian over, or you legitimately just wanted to kill someone just to give Darrisling a more bigger sentence. Oh my god, Jesus. We're making so many interesting noises today. Well, I suppose that could be true. Mr. Wright, your accusation is holding a lot less water now. You don't have a bucket on hand, but we have a trash can. That has holes in it, God. Oh, really? That's a nasty sweat you have there. I mean, you want a bucket? You have a bucket on hand? So, how about it? You still think I'm the killer? Yes. Can't believe you pulled that over my head. What do I do? He's managed to get the upper hand again. Come on, Nick. No one being out. Like I have a choice, Maya. What do I do here? Is there a reason why he could have killed the victim? Reason? He had a reason to kill her. Is it really just because of the contract? But wait, wouldn't just robbing, like, the bank and, like, you know, just going home, just being arrested for any kind of crime be it? Did he just do that as a goddamn double whammy just to ensure it was her? But... God. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid there's no way you can debunk these actions. Miss Devil accidentally killed the victim after committing the robbery. Okay, so does that mean we have to prove that it was purposeful? How the hell are we gonna do that? I can see no reason why the witness here could have done the same, considering he can drive a car. I mean, she. Your Honor, I don't think we should jump to conclusions just yet. I mean, we're not in the stadium. Is that what you've been doing? Mr. Macintosh? You keep reminding the court that Patty Destrian's death was an accident. But, what if that isn't the case? What are you yamming about? If you didn't kill the victim by accident, then you must have done it on purpose. Okay, we're going with this. Okay, but ooh, how are you gonna prove that exactly? What? And what's your reason for thinking he did? Why would he do it? The reason is simple enough. Mr. Macintosh killed the victim because she saw his face, she was in the way, she wasn't paying attention. She was on the sidewalk. She saw his face, she was in the way, she was in the sidewalk, she wasn't paying attention. I'm pretty sure it was purposeful and she saw his face? The victim wasn't killed by accident. She was killed because she saw the face of the robber. You mean she saw the robber's face before she died? But the mask, all that, right? And I think I've mentioned before that literally just, it was to hide, you know, Dara's identity before, you know, the final act of the stadium. So, like, well, the orange helmet would probably be different, like, you know, for that whole thing. But the white helmet that was stolen from the original costume would, like, you know, have, like, two-way glass to fog up the eyes and that, right? You're saying she was killed because of that? That's exactly what I'm saying. She was killed because she could have identified the suspect. Yeah, actually. You ruined our perfectly good, golden, delicious... Are you colorblind? It was a red... Never mind. I think he's colorblind. That or he's mixing up his tastes. It's either he has his taste buds are all out of whack, or yeah, or his mind's weird. Okay. Mr. Wright, what you've proposed is inconceivable. Why is that? Robert had an identity hidden throughout the crime. And we're still going to the assumption that it's obvious no matter what, it was going to be Dee Dee. Screw you! What reason would there be for her to remove the mask that hides her face? I guess is that. Well, I mean, like, you know, the car is pretty stuffy in there. I mean, the transmission was shot, so who's to say the air conditioner was, you know, working properly? They just want to take the helmet off just to, you know, fan themselves out, you know? Mr. Wright, did you have a rebuttal for the prosecution? Of course I do. Very well, why don't you show us some evidence? I think a bold claim should be followed by a bold penalty. Why? What do you say, Your Honor? It's a bit extreme, but I'm all for it. What? Well, Mr. Wright, do you still wish to continue? Yes. That's pretty overwhelming. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. If you have evidence, please show us how the robber's identity could have been seen. If it was could have been seen. We could prove it was, like, literally just that. So all the evidence of the crime here. That's for later on for, I guess, proving motive-wise. Gun, trash can, photograph. So literally we have to prove, like, they took the helmet off, right? So, like, the only thing we can is, like, the photos that Lana took. The bag is in there, which I'm pretty sure he gave over to the prosecutors at his house still. Gun would be in his left hand. SUV, anything else about it? The car stolen, used to kill a victim. The transmission doesn't seem to work right. Gun, helmet is gone, so we can't even look at it more, but yeah, it's like, it's all yellowed, so I don't know why I missed my attention, but yeah, it's obviously gonna glaze over, so like, And since it's like normal for Dare to drive, that's not gonna be either, especially if most of the staff, like, you know, use, like, you know, fills with the helmets, like, tries it out. So, like, you know, the person who's wearing it can properly see. So, the other photo. Oh. Oh, I see. Or, technically he doesn't. This will explain how the victim saw the culprit's identity. Hesley doesn't do that. Just take a look at that spot right here and you'll see. Let's see, we're in a very crumbly and cracky situation. This spot right here in the photo. Take a closer look. Well, it looks like there's a crack, I think? You couldn't see beyond the crack then, huh? A crack. What? As you can see, there's a crack in Dee Dee's helmet. So what? What is that supposed to prove? Yesterday in court, we found out the suspect and the witness bumped into one another. With a bump, the suspect must have fallen to the ground and cracked their helmet. They're getting into the vehicle. Robert couldn't see through the cracks when driving away. Whoa. So what you're saying is, the cracks in the helmet would have hindered the suspect's vision when driving away. Exactly. In order to see his way out, the culprit took off the helmet. The victim was killed because she could have identified the suspect. Literally gone to the SUV, he was having trouble, like, starting the transition, and literally since he turned on the ignition key, it would have, like, you know, even Lotta heard, like a pop from her engine go off. Obviously, Patty Destiny would see, like, you know, someone bump into someone, go into their car, hear it basically explode and look inside, and, you know, that whole thing. Yeah. Yay. You. Okay. Please hold off the apples. That does make some sense. The victim may have been killed on the account she had seen the identity of the robber. If you take the correct helmet into account, I can't see why not. Well, witness, what have you to say for yourself? You're gonna say the helmet wasn't cracked? Can you find the helmet for us then? You see. Alright. We finally... Oh my god. Not so fast, Your Honor. You have got to be kidding me. How how can he... Please... oh, hold on a second. You know, I've been shitting this whole time right now, Hawk. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt right now. Like, right now. And I'm putting all the pressure on you because, you know, you seem to have some great ideas, but I'm pretty sure now is going to be the great time. What are you going to say that's going to... What are you going to say right now? What are you going to say that's right now proves that it was not that guy sitting on a stand, clenching a goddamn crushed apple like the strongest He-Man Hulk person alive, just shaking like a leaf. What do you have to say? What? Mr. Wright, you almost had this court hoodwinked. I don't have a goddamn red cloak. Pretty clever, but it still gets you nowhere. How so, Mr. Hawk? The defense has made an enlightening point in this junction of the trial. However, I feel you should know. Your explanation can almost implicate Miss Devil as the murderer. Are you gonna... Do you have some grand proof that it was not him, though? Because literally, we can also point as him, too. And if we can do that, that means he can also be arrested, too. So tell me, what do you have that only proves it was her? What? All you done explained to us that the victim saw the robber's face. That she did, she would have been a potential witness. But who's to say that she didn't see the defendant in the SUV that day? Well, maybe... You certainly done a good job trying to pull a fast one. You tried to convince us the victim saw Mr. Macintosh instead. Well, you have no proof that she actually did see him, do you? And you have no proof it was Dara instead, you goddamn it. No! God damn it. Okay, so we can't prove it was him by legitimate means. Instead, time to go for plan B, which is slander. But since you are doing slander to Dara, I'm pretty sure this is fine to, you know, a guy who's like, you know, older, has more life experience, right? I'm pretty sure it'd be good. You should always be told to respect the elders, right? You know, Hawk, you were in the military and all that. You should know this, all right? Right? This is true. The defense presented a theory without providing conclusive evidence, and so did that to Dara. God damn it. Mr. Wright, have you anything to say for yourself? Macintosh no rose when Hawk managed to one-up me. How about that, Mr. Wright? Do you still wish to continue on with your wild accusations against Macintosh? Do you have anything conclusive to say about Dara, then, you and your wild education way? Especially since the one witness you had was a detective which you proclaimed to be incompetent? Detective was good. He's fine. He does his job. He needs help. And this is how you have this much faith. Hoo-hoo, I wonder if there's something else you could throw at me. Well, you want me to throw the book and like a whole goddamn apple tree sapling in your fucking face? I don't know. We're really hanging by a thread now. My branch, you could say. How do we manage to get this far and be stopped? Come on, Nick. Think of something. I know I should, but I don't think I can. Nick, please. Tara's innocent. She can't be the murderer. You know it. There's nothing I can attack Macintosh with anymore. We don't have any more evidence that we can use against him regarding the robbery. Not the robbery, but a motive for why he would want to come in the first place. Which is way more reason than Dara would for this goddamn fame and fortune. It has to be something. I don't know. It might be a big mistake to push this. Oh, well, guess what? The stunt drivers risk their life on limb just to make sure we get a good old spectacle. Well, this time we're gonna put that to big old use to save someone's life instead of risking our own. So guess what? Go all forge on ahead. If I keep on accusing Macintosh without solid evidence, I risk getting Dara a guilty verdict. When has it ever stopped before? Well, Mr. Wright, we're waiting. I better think really hard on this. Present evidence. Well, if we're going with like a reason for the robbery, Your Honor, I believe I have some evidence that can prove the witness's guilt. Oh, not that part, no. This is their bold claim you're making. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Well, unless you give me some good hints, Phoenix, because, you know, you're smarter than me, apparently, then you should be good. I mean, like, have you seen what you did in Rise of the Ashes? Like, that was good. Really good. You bet I do. It's all or nothing. His evidence proves that you're the real culprit, Mr. Macintosh. I don't think we have that. I don't think we have that. No, we don't. I'll try the contract. I know it's not gonna work. Hey, Wright. A bag of crab bubbles here. You want some? You really like the sweet tart. No. You sure? It tastes as sour as your evidence. I think you might like it, as sour as your goddamn innards and heart. Okay, gotcha. Oh well, I saved a few for you after the trial's over. I do not need him talking to me right now. How much should I do? I don't think we can prove that. It's no use, I don't have anything. I can't even think of a reason why he would rob a bank. I thought that's what you were going for, first off. God damn it, Phoenix! Never mind, I take back what you said about being smarter. God damn it, never mind. No. I'm taking that back now. Hold on, I just need to get drunk off this goddamn apple juice now. I had to take a big long sip just because of that. Just one big giant sip. Hold on a second. Tasty. Nick, you have this look in your face. On your face. Maya, would you rob a bank at the end of the show? But where is this coming from? Aren't you supposed to figure this out? Yes, but guess what? Would you rob a bank, Maya? No? Though, how about the fact that you stole all my money from me with a $3,000 ticket? Are we doing this now, Nick? Yes, we are. I probably would to pay you back for those tickets. See, there's a good motive right there, exactly. You owe me $3,000 plus tax and those mules from the goddamn concession stand. The popcorn. The popcorn was good. Okay, not the popcorn. The popcorn was good. Right. Wait. What other reason can you think of? Can you think of one for Macintosh? Other than the fact that he's been a real jerk? Not really. Macintosh went out of his way to rob the bank, then he had to have a reason. And reason is the reason for doing. And that reason might have something to do with a stunt show. It seems the defense has no answer to give the court. And considering they've had bad ones all day, I don't think it was worth our time. Do you have a goddamn watch on hand so I can smash it against you? That's worth our time. Actually, I think I may have found a reason. Yes, and I could have presented this instead of going that way, but God damn it. The reason why you decided to rob that bank that day is what? Don't you ever give up? I mean, no. No, have you seen any of my past cases? No, I don't. This doesn't sound like a waste of our time. Has everything else been a waste of time for you? I know this is not one of your favorite cases to go through, but Jesus Christ, have more... God damn it. Oh my god, I hate you more than anyone else, really. God damn it. Just because that one small line, that actually annoys me more than anything else than most other games I've gone through. Jesus Christ. I'll get on with it. Tell us what you think here on the bank. Hey, prosecutor, get him with the program. This guy's been making a fool out of me all day. You've been also lying your ass off this whole day, too. And we are not changing that dial because we're going to make sure the static keeps going on and on until you're whole out of the picture. And you're trying to stop this guy at every turn? At every turn. Objection! It is, and it's also my job to hear him out and counter his arguments. Just answer a question, you'll be out of here quicker than you think. Well, what do you have this time, Mr. Wright? About that, Your Honor, I don't have anything. I'd like the witness to give testimony regarding the Super D stunt show. The show? I mean, I know you're a big fan of it, so this would be good for you. All the behind-the-scenes, juicy insider info, the backstage. I mean, if you let us do this, we'll invite you next time to the next show. We won't, Maya, okay? We won't. Okay? But we'll definitely invite you, okay? Okay? Yes? Yes. Really? What does the show to do with the bank robbery? Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. I believe something happened in the event to make Mr. Macintosh commit robbery. I know it seems ridiculous, but I believe that day's show and the robbery are connected somehow. I don't know what to say to that. Mr. Hawk, what do you think we should do here? You don't know what I think? I think this is more the defense's ridiculous sidetracking. I don't know how many tracks there are in a goddamn stunt racing show, but I'll give you this. You're on the sidetrack, and I'm the main fucking path over to the goddamn pit. I'll be the one doing the miraculous stunts while you just sit there just like ogling. Hey, no! You said it was sidetracking. We don't need to know anything about... Oh my god. Do not interrupt me again. Now then, you would tell us about the show that day. Give us the details about everyone and what happened backstage. Fine. I can do that much at least. Very well. Let's have the witness give us one more testimony. There we are. Super D Stunt Show, the SDSS. SOS. We had planned a big event for the end of the Super D Stunt Show that day. Yep. Dare performed her stunt and came backstage to get ready for the final act. I gathered all the equipment for her last act had been brought to her. It was there I learned that Dare had lost her keys for the Steel Samurai. I'm glad to see you, like, you still keep the pun. Samurai. I headed back to my office and do more paperwork. A little while passed and Dee Dee came to my room to, well, you know. Can you please actually explain that and not leave it like that as a weird innuendo? Please? Please? Is that all you wish to disclose, Mr. Macintosh? That's right. Hope you have the decency to give up after this is over, right? I have nothing else to add. This testimony sounds similar to the first one he gave. Guess I'll have to go on a pressing spree to catch him. Oh, nice, gotta press his buttons. And rev up the engine, move on. Very well, let's, one moment, Your Honor. Before we start the cross-examination, I think we should implement a penalty rule. Fuck you. We should? Of course we should. Mr. Wright came up with this new waste for time. Didn't you just say, like, this is not a complete waste for time? Make up your goddamn mind. I know you goddamn hate my guts, and I hate yours even more than you probably hate mine. But Jesus goddamn Christ. Stop. It's only fair that he should take responsibility. I swear, to all of this, I feel like you should get a penalty too for just, you know, almost getting this close to getting someone, you know, have their life ruined. If I get flagged just for defending someone, and you're just getting flagged, you know, for just, you know, indicting someone just like, you know, trying to prove like someone did it, and like so many times like, you know, proven wrong, then, you know, what can I say? I think you should get the penalty when this is all over too. Anytime you press the witness with irrelevant banter, his time grows shorter. F-U-C-K. We sure like doing letters, the SDSS, so why not that? That does sound fair. Not to me, it doesn't. Exactly. But I guess the way the goddamn handle us. God. Fuck. It's alright, if you press the witness and nothing comes of it, you will receive a penalty. Understood? I understand, Your Honor. It's going to be like walking into a minefield at full speed. God. Okay. So we didn't present anything about it, so the Steel Samurai is a good place to start. Those keys. We planned a big event for the end of the Super Stunt Show that day. Dara performed her stunt and came backstage to get ready for the final act. I had gathered all equipment for her last act and brought it to her. It was there I learned that Dara had lost her keys to the Steel Samurai. There. So she was missing her keys. Well, if they weren't missing, then she would have been able to perform the last act. But as it turns out, she couldn't. So, what was the plan? What did you plan to do if she couldn't find her keys? I believe you were worried about idle chit-chat, Mr. Wright. If you can't remember, maybe this penalty will help jog your memory. Oh, shut your mouth, you. But her keys are missing. I think knowing what they could have done afterwards is important. Oh, and guess what? Didn't you also say, like, you know, for fame and fortune sort of thing? I'm pretty sure it's important for Dara's motive, too, if you're gonna go on that goddamn motorcycling killing spree. I'm a bit curious myself. You want to know the backstage details. Thank you. What would you have done if you couldn't find those keys, Master Macintosh? Huh? I guess if she couldn't do this then we'd have to end the show right there. You mean to say you didn't have a backup plan? Didn't you have a spare key made? Oh no, that bike was custom made and was finished being built last week. We only had one key in our possession, and getting another made would take time. In any case, she couldn't perform her last stunt that day. Unfortunately. That's it? They couldn't continue the show even with the keys missing? You think they have a fallback plan for the main event? Yeah, actually. Huh. I guess they were counting on Dare to go through the last stunt. Yeah, that's my office to do more paperwork. Lost her keys and lost her keys for the Steel Samurai. Aaron learned that Dare lost her keys. Head back to my office to do more paperwork. A while past and Dee Dee in my room to, well, you know. I really don't want to know. Let's see, gathered all the equipment for their last act and brought it to her. Dara performed her stunt and came backstage to get ready for the final act. Well, keys are important, but would that be enough to do that? I think it's only a matter of fact of, like, where do you even go, like, you know, presenting the motive anyway. Yeah, that's the big question here. And to prove that, let's just, Was there I learned that Dara had lost her keys to Steel Samurai. I gathered all the equipment for the last act I brought to her. Well, I'll do this. I'll press this. Equipment? What kind of equipment? Okay, that's definitely idle chatter. Just some things for our last act. You don't need to know that much, do you? Well, I think... well, guess what, Mr. Hawk? Well, you were about out Mr. Chad, Mr. Wright, if you can't remember. It was plenty to help jog your memory. Objection. Just a moment. All I want to know is what he brought her. And why do you want to know that? Just... It doesn't hurt to ask, does it? It might hurt you to ask. I don't believe that this line of questioning is pertinent to the case. If you really want to delve further, you better be sure. I'm glad I saved. Why is he being so dramatic? Because he's goddamn Hawk. Talking me offensive like this, I wonder if I should push my luck. Oh, we're already here. Press on anyway. Make a big grab at that penalty, but it seems forced somehow. Hawk's intimidation tactics might work on other attorneys, but not me. What makes you so special? We dealt with this, like, you know, twice before. One with, like, 3 other prosecutors, like one who's, you know, technically best friend material, already best friend material, a person with a goddamn whip, and also, someone actually, like, you know, committed a murder beforehand, so, I'm pretty sure we dealt with more things. Hush you. I would like to proceed with this line of questioning, so allow this witness to answer the question. Please. What did you deliver to Miss Devil, Mr. Macintosh? Just her stage costume and helmet. We wanted to give her a new look for her introduction. So you went into her room to give her this new costume to wear. Yes, I delivered the costume first and the helmet later. It was then I learned that she couldn't be ready. And why is that? Hang on a second. Macintosh sounded unsure on what to say those 2 times. Like he was thinking hard on what to say the moment he met Dara backstage. That's it. This is the key. Well, I mean, the keys were gone, so we found them. Hey, Nick, have you got something? I think I do, Maya. Dara couldn't find her keys to the bike, and Macintosh knew that. What does that have to do with anything? You'll see. Just watch, and we'll have Macintosh pinned. Okay. Your Honor? Ah, what is it, Mr. Wright? I now know why Mr. Macintosh robbed the bank that day. And his true motive. I mean, we could have already presented that a while ago, but okay. His motive? It all has to do with Dara losing her keys to the Steel Samurai. Yeah, saying that, you know, that inflection. I want to see like a Hawaiian or just Californian accent. Steel Samurai, bro, gnarly. I don't know my accents. Only from my own country. And you were able to figure this out by listening to his testimony. Yes, we have special ears, not like ears in your goddamn eyesight, because, you know. Of course I have. It was easy to deduce. Let that grin up your face and get to the point. How would losing your motorcycle keys make Macintosh want to rob a bank? She ruined the show at the time. Her plan was ruined. His plan was ruined. Yeah. Everything was going to plan for Mr. Macintosh, but when Dara couldn't find her keys, it was ruined. Because a certain event couldn't take place that he was counting on. An event that would hurt Miss Devil. What are you talking about? Do you even have any evidence that Macintosh was planning on anything like that? I do. The evidence proves that Macintosh was out to hurt Dara. Contract. He was going to hurt her with this. Well, if you threw it at her, maybe it could do some damage. What's the motive of hurt her with what? The medicine? Do we have to present that then instead? You're reaching. Well, not like this goddamn long pole. It sounded plausible to me. It is plausible. It's like a full ask me this. Do you have any evidence of actually playing anything like that? I do. Script for the SDSS. Because I agree to crowd with her helmet on, Dito would come to the top and give a small speech to the crowd. Oh, it's actually the tape! Oh my gosh, because she was like messing up with it so much. But I'm just gonna save just in case because, you know, just because. No reason. No reason. Okay, no, that wasn't right. Guess what? Nothing bad happened. Don't worry about it, Dara. Don't worry about it. Will the medicine bottle work? We don't even know what it is about, so wouldn't it work? Actually, reaching, let's, okay, no, that doesn't work. Okay, if he doesn't, it was gonna hurt like that, but because agree to crowd with their helmet on, Didi will climb up the top and give a small speech to the crowd. When example, when her son is performed, Didi will say goodbye to everyone and give them the greatest show of her life. Proof that he was going to hurt her. If it literally wasn't the bottle, the tape, or the goddamn contract, then what even is it? Are we literally going with the show script for some reason? Oh, you're supposed to explain. You're supposed to explain the like how she was gonna hurt her with the event. God. Maybe I misread that wrong of leading up to that statement, but I swear we've explained exactly how he's planning to hurt her. Not like, that's a weirdly worded statement to put it at, if I remember that right. God damn it. Ugh. There was stunt. Yes. This is how he was going to kill the defendant. Wait, what? You're saying he was going to kill the defendant through a stunt. Exactly. Mr. Macintosh's true plan was to have Dara die through the hellride jump. Ridiculous. Order? This is... Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is simple, Your Honor. Dara couldn't perform the hellride jump on account of the stolen keys, so Macintosh went out of his way and committed robbery instead. This still doesn't explain your latest accusation. I think it does. You're now accusing the witness of attempted murder. This doesn't seem to relate to the robbery at all. Let me speak my goddamn thing. Let me speak my mind. Hold on there, soldier man. Let me handle this. Okay. So, now you're saying that I was trying to kill Dara now, eh? I believe that's what I accuse you of, yes? Oh, the boldness you present. Hey, what makes you think I knew Dara was going to perform that stunt? Was the last act to be played? Are you daft? I'm in charge of a lot of things. I wasn't in charge of what she was going to perform that day. What do you mean to say, Mr. Macintosh? You're the goddamn owner. Like, what, do you, like, you really not help plan it? What I mean to say is that I had nothing to do with what Dara performs during some shows. It's up to her to come up with a stunt to perform that day. Nick, that's a lie. You're what Dara said yesterday. Well, ratings were sagging a little for the Stupidity Stunt show. You had to think of something to do to get them up again. Mr. Macintosh suggested that I go and do the hellride jump. Yeah, yay, and act like your dad and go die off in a flaming heat of death. God. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. Then say something! He's lying through his teeth! No, Maya. Going him now will only put us in more hot water. We need to get to the point and not drag this out any further. Well, are you done, Mr. Wright? Because I've had enough of sitting around here. When you want to get a goddamn milk crate and sit down then? We're not even close to being finished. You can do with the exercise with all the healthy eating you've been having. If you really didn't know about Dara's stunt, then how do you explain this? Do we now resent the tape? You know, since because of that goddamn first, you know, weird word thing from the last one that just presented the show script, I'm just saving everything now just because. Do you like tapes? Because I do. What is that tape? This is a recording of Didi trying to type the hellride jump. She had some trouble, but was able to do it once in the end. As you can see, she fell many times, but was alright with the safety nets and such. And how is this relevant to what you're trying to prove? This is in his office? I'll tell you why it's relevant. Do you know where the tape came from, Mr. Macintosh? No, I don't. It was found in the VCR in your office. It's funny, isn't it? You claim you had no idea what son Dara was doing until that day. However, this video was taken a few days before the show. Perhaps the tape was given to him and he wasn't able to see it ahead of time. Yeah, no. Fortunately, that couldn't have happened. This video was recording backstage unbeknownst to Dare and the staff. And we can get Joel on the stage if he wants to. What the hell? What's your tape of that? Do you not know when take videos of practice runs? No, we don't. There's no need to. We're trying to keep Dee's identity hidden, you know? Yeah. But then, who could have taken the video of Dee practicing for the stunt? Considering the tape was found in Macintosh's room, he's the only one who could have taken it. The SDSS crew does not film backstage training. This video was taken in secret by the witness. Do you have anything to say for yourself, Mr. Macintosh? Okay, go back to your thinking. I believe you said something interesting earlier. Oh wow, are you gonna rules lawyer me now? I've taken this video in secret, correct? Yes. That means I saw the contents of this tape, right? That's a Dare performed the stunt and she was able to pull it off. What point were you trying to get at again? That you were trying to kill the defendant through the stunt. See, we just said that she was able to do the stunt in the end. I mean, the stunt isn't as dangerous as you're making it out to be. Well, I can't imagine Dee not being able to pull off the stunt. According to the script, she was to ride down a 100-feet ramp and do a jump. Over a pit of flames, even. It's less difficult. But as the tape shows, she was able to pull it off. You see, Mr. Wright, no one has ever gotten hurt performing the hellride jump. Oh my god, you're going that route. Fuck you. Legitimately. So much. I think you're like literally like, even just going through this now, I'm just so flabbergasted at like how this guy acts. I only remember getting this mad just going through like the second case of the culprit, the second case of like V3. Like, god damn it. God damn it. The second I realized I knew who they were, I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I won't get that mad. And, yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything else. Just that. That's how I feel about that cult in particular. I really, really don't like them. And I get those same exact feelings here. Objection! Yes, please. You just had to say that, didn't you, Mr. Macintosh? What do you mean? What I mean is this stunt isn't as safe as you think it is. Okay, do we now present Dare's dad's profile, please? Do we have to do some weird loopy-loops? Because I'm pretty sure I don't think I've seen many stunt shows have loopy-loops. Or maybe they do, but you know. That's... How did... this person looks familiar. Devlin Devil? That's Devlin Devil! Oh my god, you really are a big fanboy. Why are you bringing him up, Mr. Wright? Well... Stop it! Don't say anymore. What are you talking about? I'm trying to prove my case, you know? And you asked me for this. Prosecutor, make him stop this instant! What is this all about? What are you trying to say? I'm saying that Mr. Devil, the defendant's defendant's father, died mysteriously 15 years ago. Does anyone recall how? I'm afraid I have no idea how. I haven't any clue either. Oh wow, two people who are like, you know, very big fans of the show and they don't know. Many speculated he had a heart attack backstage and died then. Yes, see, that's it. No, it's... Oh, shush you. Eat those apples then. Actually, the defense delved into this mystery and figured out how he passed away. Mr. Devil was apparently getting ready for a big performance. He had the stunt prepared and trained for it without any safety precautions. What? What stunt was he preparing for? It's an obvious, Your Honor. He was preparing for the hellride jump. Order? Order? So Miss Devil, she was gonna attempt a stunt that killed her father? Exactly. And you knew this the whole time, Mr. Macintosh. Only 3 people were privy to this information about Devlin's death. Daredevil, his daughter, Mr. Pitstop, his close friend, and you. Mills Macintosh, the owner of the SDSS stunt show. This is too much. Too much. Oh, what insightful commentary do you have? What does this have to do with the robbery? Were you not fucking listening? God damn it! What would make this man want to commit theft in the first place? It goes like this. Macintosh planned for Dara to attempt a hellride jump, hoping she would fall. Upon going to her dressing room, he found out her keys were missing. Oh. Since he had made this plan for that day, he said to act fast. While in Dara's room, he must have taken the white helmet and left her without her knowing. He read a spare costume and took the padding out to fit it properly. He then left his room, with Mr. Pitstop outside glancing back and seeing Dee Dee leave the stadium. And we all know what happened to the bank. Could we please repeat that, because I think I forgot all of it. You still haven't explained why he would do this. I'm getting to that. The reason why Macintosh went out of his way to accuse Dare of the crime is because, and just because of that same thing, just save, now can we present the big ol' important paper I tried to shove into your goddamn face? A piece of paper, well, you know, it's dangerous. Not just any piece of paper, the contract signed by the defendant and the witness here. This contract states that if Miss Devil commits any criminal offense or passes away, the money she has to acquire at age 25 will go to the co-signer of this document. You mean this is all done for the sake of money? How much money does Miss Devil have? Didn't we already present this in first trial? Hold on. Well, what did that, you know, that yellow billed envelope say? She makes over $100,000 per show, and based on the money of, like, you know, her dad gets. Please tell the whole court, Phoenix. According to one of the staff members, she's said to inherit tens of millions of dollars. I'm not sure the exact amount, but this money comes from her deceased father. Devil. If he were still alive, he'd have close to $100 million. He had many sponsors and was very careful with his money. Yes. And this was the reason why Mr. Macintosh robbed the bank. If he couldn't kill Daredevil, he went and robbed the bank, posed as her in the Dee Dee outfit. He was after Dare as well from the start. Jesus Christ. My God. Is there like, I'm pretty, like, this whole case, like, this cover right here is the big reason why I want to go through this fan game. Literally that. Oh boy, it just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Mr. Macintosh, it is true? Oh, what are you gonna say now? What are you trying to pull here, right? I mean, are we the right place? I mean, really? What are you trying to prove with that pathetic taped up paper? Taped up? Oh yeah, it was ripped up. I forgot. What do you mean, witness? Just take a look at that contract. You'll see. There's tape on this. Maybe we're the shreds. Not only that, take a closer look at the edges. Yeah, oh god. This paper does look off, it seems. Wait a minute, this looks like a copy. Mr. Wright, were you trying to present forged evidence? Why would I present it like that and make it completely goddamn fucking obvious? No, we found this paper in Macintosh's office. He's right, actually. You know, you could have caught me right there, but okay. A few days ago, a cop pissed off making copies of some contract. The old man must have taken my signature and Dara's and put on that sheet. He must have taken some old signatures and used those to make this. Why would he do that? What was he trying to do by doing that? Who knows? I called him in my office and gave him a string yelling. But I guess this means I may need to fire him for all the trouble he's caused today. Yeah. Wait, but this copy proves there's a contract that involves Dara. You know, all we can really have to do is just call Paul Pitstop here and, you know, talk about this contract, you know? So, we'll just get his side of the story, too. If the conflict's yours, and since you've been lying and, like, you know, doing all this shady shit from the beginning, and all we have is Paulo Pitstop, like, you know, just being a bit mixed up and, you know, just, you know, one time of what he was doing in a busy day of, you know, a goddamn stunt show, and he's, like, a backstage manager helping with injuries, like, you know, just vehicle specialists and all that stuff. I think he has way more leeway than a guy who was in his goddamn office all day and just making goddamn phone calls and just writing paper on a goddamn fucking ink. That baby special fucking ink. Let's say that doesn't exist. The contract may be real, but it doesn't mean the names written here are. Like I said, we call a certain someone to the stand. And since Mills Macintosh said earlier that he was tired of standing, I think it'd be a good time to give him some rest and get that red checkered orange suited father figure of Dara's on stand, right? Right? Oh, and before you even go mentioning that, since, Paulo Pitstop is, like, very close to the, Dara and want to protect her, we just had a whole thing of him protecting him here, and we're still talking to him, so what's wrong with calling him then? If you do try to say no, fuck you, fuck off, let's get you this fucking on. All you have is a copy that could have been tampered with. It's not conclusive evidence of any kind. I blew it. I blew it. Nick, what do we do? I don't... Oh god, we were banking on that. Pun intended. I believe we've come to the end of this trial. Sure as shit we haven't. That we gave you has been stretched thin, Mr. Wright. Oh, and now... Who was that? What the? Who was that? Was it you, Mr. Wright? No, not me. Not me. I mean, you can't throw your voice that far, I guess. I didn't say it either. Well, of course you wouldn't, because you hate our guts. Well, bloody hell, it wasn't me. I went out of this courtroom. It was me, you apple-loving freak. Joel! Who the? Wait, you're Stunt Manley. Yeah, that's me. What wasn't it safe? I went to every courtroom shouting until I found the right one. Oh my god. Okay, you're great. And here I am. You've been disturbing the courthouse? What before? Oh, first of all... For this? Oh. Ah! My face! Where did you... Oh my god, you punched him. What in Sam Hill? Bailiff, take that man this instant. He looks pretty tough, sir. Did you see that, Nick? Mr. Manley pops Macintosh right in the kisser. Oh, sucker punch. Yeah. He sure did. And in the face of many different people here. He has money, right? We can defend him if he gets, press charges by him. This is so not going to help our case. Crap, I knew we should have held back. Yo, Wright. Here, man. Take this. It helps use it. Huh. Piece of paper? What's that? The real contract! That was in the safe. Order? Settle down. You. I see you taking bets there. Stop it. Wait, what? Okay, we have gambling in wrestling. Honestly, when did this court become a Fight Club event? Since last year. I had no idea what that was all about. Whatever it was. Shut up. Your Honor, a moment, please. You're right, please. Mr. Wright, please settle down. We've had enough excitement without you staring for my attention. Sorry, Your Honor, but you really need to look at this. Because I don't trust the game now, just because that's done. Hey, look, what is this weird little piece of paper? Your Honor, this is it. The real contract. What? But where did that come from? Excuse me, coming through. Watch it, will you, pal? Hey, where'd that kid run off to? Wait, is he a kid now? Is he a kid? He's not a kid. He's a legal age of adulthood, okay? How old are you? He's literally just 10 years old. You're literally just 10 years older than him. If someone is like you're younger than you, obviously they're a kid. Okay, I'll just meet every single adult who's just like younger than me or something like that. I'll just be in a retirement home and just call everyone kid. Actually, that sounds pretty good. I know what I'm gonna do when I get old and get retired. Hey, Gumshoe, what are you doing here? Sorry, sir. I came in chasing that Manley guy. We rode here together and then he suddenly dashed into the courthouse. Where'd he go, anyway? He got hauled up by a bailiff for slugging that apple muncher. You had a piece of paper with him that I wanted to show you, Mr. Hawk. Do you mean this one, Mr. Detective Gumshoe? Hey, that's it! That's the contract you wanted to bring down here. Contract? Your Honor, what does it say? It's the exact same one that was presented earlier. Only, it doesn't look like a copy. It doesn't? Where'd you find this, detective? This contract was found in Mr. Macintosh's room. It was hidden inside the safe. Hidden? Yeah! We had a tough time getting it open. We managed to get it open early this morning. You were doing it all night? Oh, bless your soul. Early this morning? Why'd you take so long to have it delivered? Well, the kid asked me if we could bring it to court. I told him we couldn't unless we had the handwriting and the contract analyzed. Good point. I figured we used the signed contract and all that. So the contract's signature checked. What were the results, detective? Well, it seems that this contract was signed by both Miss Devil and Mr. Macintosh. And don't usually normal contracts like have some sort of watermark to prove it's the legitimate version too? So it's authentic. After we found out, Mr. Manley dragged me onto his bike and we rushed on over here. Nice. It was kind of scary. He ran some red lights, you know? God. Well, I mean, his suit is green, so green light. So this contract is the real deal? Mr. Macintosh and Dara really did sign this? I guess so, pal. Does this have anything to do with the case, Mr. Hawk? Yes. You a good detective, Mr. Hawk. I think this is important evidence you deliver, detective. Mr. Macintosh. So are you a fan of green? Because I think, yeah. I think this is gonna ruin your whole day. Wish you really had Granny Smith instead, huh? Earlier you told us you had signed no such contract. What do you have to say for yourself? Oh, what a beautiful day. We're indoors. What does that remark? I'll tell you what it means. It means today I'm a rich man. Fuck, it does. What? Every time we corner this guy, he has some smug thing to say. How can he possibly think I can get out of this? Yeah, twofold. One, the reason why this culprit villain is so good. Also, to slug him in the goddamn face. Thank you, Joel. Your Honor, surely you must understand the defense hasn't proven a thing with that piece of paper. This contract proves that you and Dara signed it. It proves you were after her money. It doesn't prove that I robbed that bank now, does it? It doesn't prove that Dara did either, so fuck off. But then, why didn't you just say so earlier? Because it has nothing to do with this trial, that's why. Screw you. It's no one's business when Dara and I signed the Super D Stunt show. All you've done is pointlessly accuse me of robbery, murder, attempted murder. His contract just tells us that I acquired a boatload of cash. Oh, what? Nothing, that's what. I stood here listening to you long enough. Let's end this trial now, Judge. I need to do some talking to my own lawyers with this contract. The witness may be free to go after I announce the verdict. What? Your Honor! Yay. Mr. Wright, Mr. Macintosh has stated the obvious. You cannot convict him without any evidence that proves he tried to rob the bank, or try to kill the defendant through a stunt. You traveled a long road, but I'm afraid you must stop here. So we need to either prove those ways. I don't believe this. Yeah, if the contract was the only thing in the safe, then we had him. We failed. The contract proves Macintosh signed it, but it's not enough. And we ran out of evidence when it came to the robbery. We can't save Dara in this situation. You look so hopeless. Serves you right anyway. After this is all over, I'm gonna be rich. She should have stayed in her room, or else this wouldn't have happened. That's enough, witness. We needn't hear any more. Now then, it's time to announce the verdict. Oh, I can't wait to hear it. This court finds the defendant Daredevil. Hi, Hi, Hawk. Mr. Hawk? What is it? Hey, let the judge speak. Your job is done. I mean, sure, I basically did all the work for you in the end, but come on, lighten up. I mean, yeah, I think that's the big reason why he wants to get at you. Tell you what, I'll see to it you get a little something out of this if you just let the judge end the trial. What do you say? Oh my god. Your Honor? Yes? Before you hand on your verdict, I'd like to ask the defense something. Like, well, yes, of course you can. What the? He wants to ask me something? What is it? Mr. Wright, is there any evidence you haven't shown us yet? I'm asking if you've shown us all your evidence. Well, have you? Is Hawk helping us? What's Prosecutor Hawk up to, Nick? I think he's giving us a chance to save Dara. This isn't like him. Are you sure? Well, I am. If Hawk really wanted to end this, he'd have let the judge hand down his verdict. But, well, what evidence haven't we shown yet? I don't know. Nick, hurry up and answer the question. Do you or do not? Hey, knock it off. This is over. Let the judge... Quiet. Guess I don't have to worry about Macintosh. What do I present as evidence? What do I have left? Very well. Prosecution requests the defense present evidence. Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence that you have not presented to the court yet? Evidence that we have not presented. I don't think profiles. No. Keys. Crime scene photo. There's paycheck. We already presented that photo. We haven't even presented the autopsy report, I don't think. No. Gun. Well, I already know what it is, but I'm going to take a sweet time getting there. Gun, plaque, model. Trash can was only used. Lily just had nothing to do with the crime. I was just sitting there in the back alley, just to throw away the padding as Mills left the place. The SUV was stolen and killed the victim with it. Photographs, the law took. Stolen helmet. That's somewhere. And the evidence that we already presented up until this point. And something about this bottle. I don't think I've shown this yet to the court. Hmm? Is that a bottle? The label's ripped off. And where did you find this bottle, Mr. Wright? It was found during our search in Mr. Macintosh's room. It was in the drawer of his work desk. The label was ripped off, and it, well, seemed weird, you know? Well, Mr. Hawk, is this relevant to the case at all? Your Honor? Yes, sir? Can you please take the bottle and sniff the contents inside it? The contents? That's a really strange request. I suppose it couldn't hurt. Let me see that bottle, Mr. Wright. Here you go. These bottle caps are a pain to get off these days. Yeah, safety child locks. There we go. Nick? What's going on? Oh, you just wait and see. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's Oh my god! Mr. Wright? What? What? What was that for? What was in the bottle to make me pass out like that? How should I know? I don't know what's in there. And Matt and Hawk wanted you to smell it. Besides, I didn't ask you to smell a bottle. Now my chair's out of place. What will I do if... Your Honor... Oh yes, your chair's out of place. The prosecution would like to submit one last piece of evidence. This red helmet. A helmet? I'd like you to take this and put it on, Your Honor. Another strange request? Well, who wanted to turn down the prosecution? Wait, Nick, isn't that the... That's the helmet from the other day. Oh. I wonder the medicine bottle was. This is such a great revelation to have. Maya? Are you right? What's wrong? Nothing. Just got a little dizzy. And all the pieces in the chess pieces all fall into place. Uh-oh. Down I go. Oh my god, again. Please don't blame me again. Are the defense and prosecution intent on making me ill today? Okay, good. Well, you still blame me, so don't lug me into this. So that's it. That's how you were trying to kill Miss Devil. What? What are you talking about? This bottle of the defense presented has the same properties that are in the helmet. And that very helmet that I gave the judge has chloroform in it. Goddamn chloroform. This bottle contains chloroform? What's chloroform doing in her helmet? I found this helmet in Miss Devil's room the other day. A strange smell emitted from it, so I took it with me to have the inside checked. Forensic examined the helmet and told me that chloroform was applied to its helmet padding. Let me just... Hellride jump. Dee Dee comes out to greet the crowd without her helmet on. Dee Dee would climb up to the top and give a small speech to the crowd. While running down the ramp, Dee Dee will put on her new helmet. The stunt is performed, Dee Dee will say goodbye to everyone, giving them the greatest show of her life. That is a morbid last line to give, huh? I wonder why. During my investigation yesterday, I talked to a number of staff members. The one in charge of costumes said you can't do it the day before the show. She said that you asked for Dara's new costume. That costume being the one she has on right now. And the red helmet. What's that red apple? You intended for her to have the helmet on as she was riding down a ramp. Don't be ridiculous. I wish she could have fallen in that pit with that helmet. She would have had it on while on top of the platform. Yeah, no. Not likely. According to this, Dara would have fallen into that pit as she rode down. There we go. According to the script, Dara was to ride down a ramp, and while riding down, she was to put her on her helmet. She was to put the helmet on as she was riding down that ramp? It wouldn't be that difficult for her to do. This helmet is made to fit her on her head without putting any straps on. It fits over easily. No Dee Dee, she could just no problem. It definitely would have added more excitement to the event, huh? However, if she did this with the chloroform inside the helmet, she would have fallen. Riding over a pit of fire, she would be sure to die. Hang on, what if someone went into my office and planted a bottle? I'm afraid that's not likely. The police have been conducting an investigation for the past several days of my orders. The office had been locked the whole entire time. No one came in or out of there. And there was a show going the entire time, so I'm pretty sure someone else would have went into your room for it. You even told us, the defense, that you hadn't gone back to the stadium since the murder. You only managed to get into your office because Mr. Manley broke the locked door. It wasn't broken beforehand, so we were the first ones to enter there days after you left. If you want to make sure no one else touched the bottle, we can test for prints. Though I doubt we'll find anyone else besides yours. Well, Mr. Macintosh, do you think you can explain why this ball of chloroform was in your office? And can you explain why the chloroform was applied to the inside of the red helmet? Oh my god. Okay, you bought some rotten apples there, I'll give you that. I thought you said earlier you had crab apples. I could have been rich. Devlin, you died before I could even get even with you. Even? What? I could have been the best if you weren't around when you died. I considered it a blessing. Wait, did you plan to kill him too? Or was that a complete accident? Your daughter would no doubt follow in your footsteps to its bitter end. Yeah, there's a reason why. I hate this guy. I worked hard, became her manager, and tricked her into signing the contract. All I had to do was bide my time until she was ready to reveal herself. With that pit stop, I left that contract at my desk one day and snatched it. He wouldn't make a copy and get proof against me. He always knew I was out to get Dara. Firing him would have been easy, but it would have been too suspicious. Close friends. The day of Dara's revealing was coming and I had gotten everything ready. But there's something I didn't count on. Manly. He stole Dara's keys to the show and I threw a wrench to my plans. And the best part is that technically no one would have saw that coming because everyone thought he was just a hot-blooded person. And not a love-struck person. A love-struck meathead. I didn't know what to do. I wouldn't have carried that plan that day. So while handing Dara her new suit, I swiped her white helmet and gun plaque without her noticing. I found an old student with the padding out. Would have preferred having her killed, but I did have a plan B. I just didn't think I'd be using it at all. So, disguised as Dee Dee, I ran off to the bank. The robbery was a botched one anyway, but I still managed to get her arrested. If she'd just gone ahead and went through with that stunt, the evidence would have burned up along with her. And I with all the benefits. My god. So, you admit to committing robbery, murder, and attempted murder? Yeah, I do. I guess that stupid woman at the bank was another wrench in my scheme. But the stupidest woman of all is you, Dara. Oh my god. Do you really think you're so special? When did she ever say that? People only love you because you're Dee Dee, a nostalgic relic from the past. A cover that your father never bequeathed to you. And yet look what you benefited from it. Riches, glamour, and false idolization. No one loves you, they love the name. Even after this, what do you think will happen? People like me will try to get in good with you and use you to get at your money. They won't care at all about you. No one will. You're just a naive brat who will trust in no one. You're a doomed creature. Doomed. That's enough. Bailiff, get this parasite out of my courtroom. Trusting little Dara. You should fear for your life now. Oh, yay. Have fun eating those rotten apples in prison. Well, we can breathe easily now that that man and his foulness are gone, and I can breathe more easily too, since I wasn't just casually dying for breath there. I don't think I got you down. Miss Devil, do not take what that meant to heart. They were the pathetic ramblings of a sore loser. There are people here in this court who risked everything to help you out today. Mr. Wright here, and of course, Mr. Hawk. Yep. Okay. I say, where's Mr. Hawk, Mr. Wright? Huh? I didn't really see him leave, Your Honor. Wouldn't be right to hand down a verdict without him being here. I guess he just left when Macintosh was escorted out then, huh? However, court has gone on long enough, and I'd like to end the proceedings now. Why did Mr. Hawk leave? He really helped us out. He should be happy like we are. Well, it can't be helped. I will now announce the verdict. This court finds the defendant, Daredevil, not guilty. I don't think that confetti though. You know, I just realized the red helmet would actually go good with her hair. Court is adjourned. We did it, Nick! We did it! I'm glad it's over with. That guy was pretty tricky. More ways than one. And a slime ball to boot. How could he say all those terrible things? Like the judge said, he's a sore loser. I'm trying to get a Dara to the bitter end. Well, I think it worked. Oh boy. Dara, don't look so down. We won the case. You can't let what Macintosh said get to you. But what if he's right? Dang nabbit, Dara doll. Mr. Pitstop. No one's out to get at you because your daddy's wealth. A lot of people respected him, Macintosh being the only exception. So don't let that dirtbag get the best of you. You're better than that.
Pops, I don't know.
Oh, Dara. What can convince her that no one is out to get her? Maybe... Can I butt in for a minute? What the? Hey, Dara, not everyone is out to get you. Even if they were, there are people who are willing to protect you no matter what. Don't steal my line. Do you remember what happened just a little while ago? Mr. Merely came into the courtroom and gave us the contract. He worked hard with the gumshoe and get that. He really cares for you, Dara. Okay. I want to believe that, but I don't know. I want to trust him. It's just... Dara? I can't leave without convincing Dara how much Manly cares for her. She needs to get out of this slump anyway. Dara, Miss Manly has always looked out for you. It wasn't just for today. For needing. Those are the Steel Samurai keys. Mr. Manley didn't go into your dressing room to steal them out of jealousy. He stole them because he was afraid you were going to get hurt during the hellride jump. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't be standing here with us. Yo, D. Joel! Look, I'm sorry I couldn't get here sooner. Well, I guess it couldn't help anyway. Bring a contract didn't matter too much. Well, it helped in the end. I wouldn't say that. Joel, did you really take those keys because you were worried about me? Of course I did. I mean, yeah, I did. I mean, I didn't know Macintosh was really out to get you at the time, but I don't need a reason to watch out for you. You're the most awesome woman I know, Dee. Next to your dad, you're probably the best. It sounds dumb, but I don't want to see you get hurt during these stunts, you know? I don't want to see some scumbag like Macintosh do anything to you either. So just keep in mind that I'll always be watching your back.
Joel. I'm sorry I treated you bad for the past few days. I didn't think I could trust anyone anymore, but now I know I can. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I got ya. No one will hurt you if I'm with ya. I guarantee it. That's just adorable.
Aw, Nick, isn't that sweet? That's all kind of adorable. 10 out of 10 adorableness. The meter chart.
It's a happy ending for Dara, and that's what counts. Alright, man, let it go over. I see you sniffing her hair. What? Get off me, old man. I was doing nothing. Wait a minute. Didn't the bailiffs arrest you a while ago? Did you break out of chains? Oh, yeah, they did. After the trial was over, the judges called me into his office. He's a pretty cool old dude. Not with me. Considering how things turned out, he said he'd let me go with a warning. I should slug bad guys in court more often. Need to repress some of this rage on someone, you know? Be a bailiff on, you know, part-time. Just don't do that ever. No, you shouldn't.
Mr. Wright, Maya, thank you so much for defending me. I owe the both of you as well. I'm just glad you're feeling better, Dara. You're much prettier when you're happy. You know, those tickets you got for the show were pretty expensive.
Are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say?
I'll make sure you get a refund for them.
Thank you. Aw, you don't have to do that. What am I saying?
No, don't worry. I want to do this for you. And here's a little extra something from me, Mr. Wright.
Oh, God.
Nick. Muchas el conquistador. What the heck is that phrase? You're turning redder than Dara's hair.
Well, at least someone here is redder than a basket sheet. Well, you know.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Mr. Maya. Oh, God. Mr. Nick! Why is there a kiss mark on your cheek? Mr. Maya's not wearing lipstick.
Oh, why did I do this? Huh? Well...
You cheater! Oh, how could you? Misty has Mr. Manly. You doggy.
Doggy? Ow, ow, ow!
I'll never forgive you. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Ah! Okay, someone taking the infirmary.
Nick, he's out cold. My goodness, we'd be okay.
That's where I could pack a slap. Good on you, little missy. She got some training. How come I didn't get a kiss? Facepalm. God. I'm just gonna wake back up. Third floor lobby. Third floor. You took an uncharacteristic risk today. However, in the end, you managed to help find the truth along with Wright. Oh, hi, Edgeworth. Yet, here you are looking defeated. Why is that? Oh, wow. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. There was no mistake. You uncovered a nefarious person's actions and brought him to justice. He admitted to his crimes and now he's being incarcerated. You did the right thing. Miles, just leave me alone. Nothing to say to you. Very well, I will see you at the prosecutor's office tomorrow. Why did I do that? Why did I help the opposition? I'm supposed to find the truth on my own. And yet, I did it again. Why? Why did I do that? I can never do this again. Never? I'm sorry, Hal. And that's Turnabout Daredevils. And it closed, so I'm just gonna quickly bring this up. And that was Turnabout Daredevils, and effectively the end of Trials of the Justice. Because so far it's been years since like the end of this case has been gone and just dusted through. And the fourth case doesn't seem like it's going to be released anytime soon, so I'm assuming this is technically the unofficial ending. And Hawk never meets Phoenix ever again. Sad. Be honest, you can already imagine how the fourth case is gonna go with this person named Hal, or like, I mean, just imagine that's either that was the defense that he was working with at the time, or like, really like something that happened like the last, I guess, naval trial he was a part of before this, and just, oh boy, this whole like, you know, the villain for this case is just so good. Just the like, literally, if this case didn't exist, I probably wouldn't be playing this, like, you know, replaying it just for y'all to watch. Just, yeah, it's really good. I do like, you know, his little character arc here. Like, it's really good. Like, it's really good. Even though I kind of hate his guts because of that character arc. And we'll never get the end of that character arc, and now he's just gonna go off into the sunset and doing absolutely nothing. We'll never see him again. Oh, well. The game was fun for what it is, I'll give it that. Like, I love the first case. The second case is a fun little ride to go through, and just, yeah. It has its little hang-ups like I mentioned before. In this case, it was a fun ride, start to end. These fan games are just really fun to go through, and just like, yeah, I'm really glad I went back through this. Because even though Case 2, I didn't really like it, I found some stuff I actually really enjoyed going through it again. Just, I guess, like, I guess just the clue part of just, like, different floors and all that. The characters are stereotypical in their own way, and just, you know, they're fun for what they are, but, like, yeah, that's all I got out of them. And just the whole thing was, yeah, just, like, the whole thing, figuring out the mystery and just, like, piecing things together there, like, that was fun, even though it was a bit lackluster, I guess, when you think about it way too more deeply about it. But this case, whoo boy, there's some fun stuff to be had. Well, I hope you had a fun time going through this. I don't know... Well, I know besides this, I'm gonna go into, like, 2 more Phoenix Wright fan games, and that's probably gonna be it unless I see something, like, you know, interesting. Like, I did bring up Zero Ace Prosecutor. I'll get to that some point, maybe before I finish off, but I know definitely if I don't get to that, if I don't get to Zero Ace Prosecutor first, I'll do that after conflict of interest. Don't know how far I'll do that into the future, since, like, usually when I do these games, I'll do them, maybe do their game at, like, the exact same time. Then afterwards, just play a few things, then go to the next one, because I don't want this just to be an entire channel just dedicated to Phoenix Wright, even though I do like the series and these games and all that. Conflict of Interest is going to be a fun ride to go through, because it's going to be very more difficult in terms of, like, figuring things out. Like, legitimately, you don't know the half of it, so I'm gonna rack my little itty bitty smooth brain for that, and it'd be a nice rump to Turnabout Substitution, which, to be honest, was like the big inspiration bomb for pretty much almost all these fan games, or just in some capacity, just like the origin point of, like, inspired kind of a court, and then inspired conflict of interest, and then by that account, this game, Trials of the Justice, which would be a fitting end to leave all this fan game stuff off on a good note, wouldn't you say? But until then, hope you had a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope you see me next time, the time may be, and I all hope you fantastic day.